Welcome to I Change the Narrative, a podcast centered around Black men, inspiring, supporting, and empowering Black men and Black boys. This episode of I Change the Narrative is sponsored by So Organic, So Suave, also known as Sauce. Sauce is a luxury hair care and skincare refuge for those with thick hair and melanin rich skin, from healthy beard growth to top of head hairstyling, to an illuminating skincare regimen. Sauce Essentials will naturally enhance your outer appearance to strengthen your inner confidence. Sauce invites you to accept the authenticity and real self care and embrace your best. You can find Sauce's award winning grooming essentials online at sossd.co. Again, that's sossd.co. You can also follow Sauce on Instagram and for the latest in product news and updates at sossd.co. Elevate your grooming with Sauce today. Today's topic, we are talking about positive self-talk to bring about self-actualization. Before we start the conversation, I want to ask our guest to tell us about himself, where he's from, and the work that he's involved in that lends itself to the topic and the lived experience. Bradley.
My name is Bradley Cheathon, and my business is Black Men Speak Life. I'm originally from California, but now I've been out here in Atlanta for the last 3 years, and I'm just trying to gather. I'm just trying to gather our community. I've told a lot of people I like how the women are out there, and anything you could think of, the sisters are on it. So I was like, all right, it's time for the brothers to step up. So I was trying to reach out and get our brothers and try to help out relationship wise. And I'm in search of all Black men. So I've been working with Black men, and lately I've been working with more teenagers. So I guess I'm trying to get them before they get there, you know?
That is awesome work, working with those teenagers. I love teenagers. They're very open to what we have to say to them, open to the advice, and they also challenge us. So I love our teenagers. So thank you.
Yes, definitely. No, it's a joy of mine. I like what they call like seeing that light bulb go off.
Yes.
You know, we have a session, we go over it, and then I get to see them think, and it's just that right there is the gratification right there.
Yes. Yes, it is. So let's get into the show. According to the self affirmation theory, your self identity is pliable. And what that means is that we have the power to alter how we see ourselves as a person. You can decide to believe that you are powerful, intelligent, and capable of doing anything you set your mind to. Affirmations that are consistent with your personal standards can be very effective. I even read this week how affirmations affect our brain's physical structure, that prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that contributes to how we're influenced, how we process our thinking. And so every minute of every day, our body is physically changing in response to the thoughts that run through our heads. Just thinking about something causes our brains to send signals and release neurotransmitters. These chemicals control all of our body's functions, including our mood and feelings. So, over time and with repetition, it's been proven that our thoughts change our brain, change our cells, and even our genes. So, when you use positive affirmations, you're teaching your brain new ideas and creating new neural connections. This is what enables us to shift our perspective from one of doubt to one of confidence. So let's jump into it. Our words create or set the atmosphere. Bradley, can you provide your thoughts on our words create and set the atmosphere?
Well, that has to do with the name of my business. Black Men Speak Life. So you have to you have to be very cautious of what you say. I'm a wordsy person, so you could tell me one thing and use the wrong word, and I'll take it the wrong way, and
Yes.
then you could come back and just change one of those words. But um, I I named my business specifically that because you can't go into something with all the doubt, or you can't go into something already saying how you're going to fail and think that you're going to succeed. You
Mhm.
know, you want to set yourself up for success. And so with that, I try to be careful on what I'm saying about myself and especially about other people. You know,
Absolutely.
my whole goal is to uplift, and um, I'm a parent. I have four kids, and so one of the things going through the therapy on raising the kids is they talked about doing a compliment sandwich.
Mm.
So, you know, you tell them something good about them, something that you would like for them to fix, and then you come back with a word of affirmation at the end. And so they walk away from it like, all right, I could do this better, but I am doing good in these areas. You know, we walk away with some light versus, oh, everything I do is wrong.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think we've got to be very cautious on what we say.
I like what you said when you said you are a words person. I am too. I have a few of my peers say, "Oh, we getting old," and I'm like, "No, don't put me in that category. I don't
Right.
accept that old is a state of mind, and that's not how I think."
Understand.
And that's very, very important to me because I still have a lot to do, and our words have so much power. So I'm very mindful of every day what I'm saying, particularly on Mondays. Mondays, we all have some ups and downs on Mondays. The Monday blues, I would say. And I had to change my mind about Monday, how I look at Monday. I had to um, kind of not go along with what social media was saying. On Mondays on Twitter and on IG, you get, I'm tired, woke up tired, woke up sluggish. I just need everyone to shut up. I think that we have to be careful in what we echo on social media because those words have power. And so what I decided to do was tell my Monday before I step out of the bed, tell my Monday how it was going to be, how it was going to act, how I was going to act, how I was going to see Monday as Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and finally Friday. What are your thoughts on that?
I love that. I went over this with my cousin, and we said that we wanted to change how we move. So
Mm.
we said instead of things happening, we're going to do the stuff on purpose. You know, you need to have purpose. You need to be purposeful with what you're saying. You need to be purposeful with your movements. You need to be purposeful with your thoughts. Um, to go with what you were just saying, though, too, is instead of like, so for Thursday, it's Friday Eve. It's a mental thing, you
Mm.
know? So, looking at it like I'm prepping myself for Friday. I'm not looking at it like, I still have one more day. And I love your idea on Monday because I'm a mindset coach. And so I had one of my OGs come to me and say, you need to, he said, for more or less, you need to get your mindset together. So he says, I'm thankful to start work on Monday.
Yeah.
I had to look at that like, okay, I like that because rather than setting yourself up, like you said, and just, oh, I have the Monday blues, you can't expect for Monday to be great when you started off saying you're going to have the blues. You know?
Yes, I agree. Steph Lover says it is important for us to move with purpose. I think she's echoing what you said, move with purpose. So thank you for listening,
How you're
Steph.
presenting it.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's get into the real purpose. I am. These I am affirmations every Friday on IG for the I Change the Narrative page. I do affirmations twice a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Just because Friday sometimes it's a little rough. We want to finish the workday and we need that push. So talk about the power of I am and where that may have come from.
So I look at it like this was one of my own personal battles. Um, I I'm an only child halfway. I got explain a little bit. My younger brother is 18 years younger than me, so we didn't grow up in a house together.
Right.
But my parents would say, you look good, or give me various positive affirmations, and they're very confident. And for some reason, I took that as being conceited. So I wouldn't lift myself up at first. And then it took some growth and some years to understand that there's a difference between being confident and conceited.
Hmm.
So with that, then as the confidence started to grow, that's when I became more comfortable saying that, I'm going to win, or I'm going to be successful, and, speaking these positive affirmations into my own work day, into my life, into, my clients as well. And I had this thing also to where if your goal is to get to the stars, rather than saying we're just going to shoot for the stars, let's shoot for Pluto. you
Yes.
know if
Yes.
we come up a little short, well, we still reach the stars by far.
Yeah.
And so basically, again, just set yourself up for success.
Yes, I agree. When you say shoot for the stars or let's shoot for Pluto, there's this saying, the sky is the limit. No, let's go beyond. We don't know what's beyond. So
Mhm.
I was challenged with a couple friends years ago when I said, let's go beyond. And they were like, well, what do you mean? There's something unknown beyond the sky that we're not aware of. So let's
Yeah.
go for that. Just my little 2 cents on that. Why are Black men's affirmations important? Why is this important?
So it's funny you said that, or I said, I think that it has a lot to do with our upbringing.
Mhm.
I've been speaking with a lot of people of this of lately, and so as Black males, you're told, suck it up, get over it, quit crying.
Mm.
And we're given a lot of stuff to be prepared for society as a Black male. That's definitely needed. But at the same time, we also need the nurture as well.
Mhm.
And so we're always given the portion where we have to be tough, or you can't show your feelings. And then we get older and get in relationships and have kids,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden we need to have feelings.
Right.
And so if we can change that narrative now,
Yes.
then it'd be helpful for when we do come of age, and it's not something that is just brand new to us.
Mhm.
I think that there's certain things that are going to beat us up as society already. So if we can change that within our homes and within our community, then I think that helps to prepare us for what's to come.
Absolutely. Um, can a 60-year-old take part in this I am affirmations?
I believe so. So I believe it's all coming down to a mindset. Like so I I, I want to say that we're on the same path as far as we like to challenge the thinking.
Mhm.
And so when I hear an old dog can't learn new tricks, I'm like, well, are we challenging that? Or are
Mm.
we just hearing this statement and just going with it?
Right.
I believe that growth can happen at any age. It just has to be something that you put effort into.
Mhm. So just like a 60-year-old Black man puts effort into years upon years of negative talk, negative self talk, it's going to take this repetition for positive self talk for it to sink in. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely. I'm a saver by nature. And
Mhm.
so I tell people that, you could spend up everything today,
Mhm.
but it usually takes double the time to save. And
Yeah.
I think the same thing applies to changing um, habits.
Hmm.
I think a lot of times we'll be so hard on ourselves, like, I wanted to stop doing whatever, and then it didn't happen the next day. But that's not reality. It took us years to get develop that bad habit. So it's unrealistic for us to think it's only going to take us days to change that bad habit
Yeah.
or to change the outlook.
Right. What are some strategies that Black men can use on a daily basis in order to incorporate this positive self-talk into their lives?
So the chapter of my life right now is the elephant theory, and it's how do you eat an elephant? And a lot of people are thinking, this thing is huge. Let me start with the ear. Let me start with the tail. Like what's manageable. But it's a bite at a time. And so I think that as we are introducing these things, um, oh, great. This is a point that I wanted to. I look at it like the New Year resolution.
Yes.
Okay, so we set ourselves up for failure by saying, okay, I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to go to bed at this time. I'm going to drink this amount of water. And we got this list of 30 things.
Hmm.
And they're all good. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think it's a lot easier if we introduce things one at a time.
One at a time.
And it's not for us to put a limit on it. It's not to say, okay, this year I'm going to quit drinking and that's it. um let's start off with this year I'm going to quit drinking, and then as you conquer that, then you can add something else in. It may not take you the whole year or the whole month, but you know focus on the one thing, so that way you're not bringing any undue stress upon yourself.
Hmm.
And then as you get good at that, you add something else in. And the goal is to keep it going. You still stick with that list that you would for the New Year resolution, but let's not throw it all on at the same time.
Right. Right. I You said stick with one goal or one idea, one at a time. I like that. I just remember as I'm talking to you about that particular question, when I was a little girl, my mother used to make me write in my journal um, how I am great. And she used to make me do it all down the page, 5 pages, 4 pages, however many pages she wanted. But I had to write something in this journal, an I am affirmation. Every single day, she would have me to do that. And it's amazing how it's kept with me, even now, how I see. And she used to talk to me about my words and what I used to say and correct me if it was negative. She would make me retract it. So those are that's one strategy that I guess that someone else can use, is write it down in a journal.
No, I'm big in agreement with that. I think that there's supposed well, I didn't write this or make this up, but there's supposed to be three different ways. You see it, you hear it, and you read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've attended a couple of schools where they'll have those three different avenues
Hmm.
for everybody to take it in.
Yes.
So I think that um, it is very powerful when you can read it, and I think it may hit you a little bit different when you wrote it as well.
Yeah, I think that I didn't understand it then. However, I understand it now as an adult, the importance of what she had my brother and I to do when we were younger. So I really appreciate that because, it helped shape, these affirmations help to shape our lives, really. They give us confidence in certain areas. And so I'm thankful for that opportunity. And you said there's three, you said something about there's three schools or something like that. What did you say?
Well, there's three ways you want to get it. You read it, you see it, and you hear it.
Right.
And I
Okay.
think part of what you were doing is, um, I hate to use a word, but it's like kind of like fake it till you make it. So like when you're writing this stuff down, maybe you may not believe it at first, but as you write it down and as you read it, it starts to resonate in your soul, and then you start to believe it more. And what I like about that is it's of self. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like once your confidence is built up in yourself, it's not that easy for me to come here and say, "Hey, you're not about that. You can't make it." You like you've already built it up in yourself, so you're able to say, "All right, whatever."
Right. Right. I agree. I totally agree with that. Yes, I agree. Won't go there, but I definitely do agree with that. Affirmations actually reconfigure our brains. So let's talk about what it does intrinsically as well as what it does extrinsically.
So I think that now I'm taking some guesses here,
Okay.
but when you're happy, um, I believe your body releases some serotonin.
Yes.
And I believe that the same thing happens with positive affirmations, because I believe the same process is going on when you're hearing affirmations, just like when you're happy. It's I believe you have the same thing going on inside your body.
Mhm.
So when you get negative talk towards you, it's it's a completely different feel.
Mhm.
You walk away. Let's say you have a boss come up to you and they let you know you've been doing excellent work. That just sits with you a little different than if they were to come up and just tell you a whole bunch of bad. Now I understand if you're doing bad, then you're probably going to get it. But um, when somebody gives you an affirmation, or you could look at it even like in society right now, like how we're so like driven,
Mhm.
that like it
Mm.
sits different in your body.
Yeah.
And it's somebody who probably didn't even read your post, but they just felt enough to just click on the heart, and you see it, and it's like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
it's just helpful, and it's motivating to take you throughout your day. Just a little
Yes.
a little like.
It is. It is. It is. I do agree with that. So for the Black man, how does someone, how does the Black man focus their energy on what they want in life as opposed to the barriers that they may be currently facing?
I think that this is part of the reason why I started my business. It's about having the outlets. Um, so I think we have the stigma in our community not wanting to seek therapy,
Mhm.
and then I feel like it's starting to change a little bit.
Mhm.
And now I think that it's resting on the Black men now for us to stand up and say, you know what, I'm going to seek some help.
Yeah.
I've been talking with a lot of brothers about, okay, if you do not go to therapy, but you will talk to your uncle, I'm like, how different do you think that is?
Mm.
Now, I'm not saying the uncle should be the best route, or somebody like that, but you are talking to somebody else.
Mhm.
And then when you look at it like that, now you're saying, I'm willing to talk to somebody else, but I'm not willing to talk to a professional. And
Mm.
like when you break it down like that, does that make sense? Like you don't want to talk to somebody who's studied in this area, who could be more helpful. So I think it's important for us as Black men to start reaching out,
Mhm.
and then getting out of our regular words. I'm good. I'm
Right.
cool. Because that right there, I think, has been very damaging for us. Because as me, as speaking male to male, you saying I'm good, I do understand you, but I can't really help you if you don't give me what's actually going on.
Mm.
If we need the space to be vulnerable,
Mhm.
and and then we can actually seek true healing.
Mhm. I agree with that. I was thinking this week. It was just a lot of work coming at me, and folks, my peers would say, "What's wrong?" Um, and I would say, "I'm good." And I'm like, I thought about that. Actually, preparing for the show, I'm actually not good. I'm overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed is not good. So why am I responding? I'm good. I know that is a habit that our culture um, has. We say that quite often. How can we correct that?
So it just came to me right now, but I'm wondering, do we, is there some part of us that feels that we don't have a safe space?
Mm,
Because I'm thinking if you're willing to tell somebody that you're good when you're not good, that's what it's leading me to believe is that we don't have a safe space. Like,
mm,
I know part of it for me is I don't ever want to seem like I'm a burden on somebody else.
yeah. Hmm.
And so I don't want to come to you and tell you how hard my day is because I don't. I'm working my way out of my black and white space that I'm in.
Hmm.
It's
Right.
not always compliment or complaint. It could be in the middle.
Right.
And I'm working myself out of it being a complaint versus just being my reality. I like you said, I happen to be overwhelmed. Um, I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm not saying that I can't make it. I'm not saying that
Right.
I won't be better, but just being honest in the moment, I
Mhm.
have a lot going on. And right now I'm trying to juggle and I'm not the best juggler,
Right. Right.
but I'm going to get it.
Right.
you know.
I hear that. You spoke earlier about even, um, you know, thinking about what you say about others. Let's talk about how we bless and how we curse others by our words. Um, I think we do a terrible job of berating people, berating influencers, celebrities, or just random people on social media. Um, talk about talk about that.
I think one of the common ones I've seen on a lot of these posts and threads are, um, "Oh, your little business is cute," and it just slips out like that. Like my little business is cute. Like, and I think a little bit of it is it's just our regular talk, so we just haven't realized how damaging it is,
Yes. Yeah.
and we'll just use it. Like I didn't mean little like how it sounds. Like, well, what did you mean?
Right.
Like let's watch the wording on it. So I think that part of it would be just being uh, purposeful with the words that you're using. Let's think those through, and another portion of it is I try to watch what I say according to what I do.
Hmm.
So I'll never speak on childbirth because that's something that I know nothing about. So I think that I could read books and I could get very knowledgeable on it, but until you do it, to me, I don't like to speak on it. So
Right.
I think that when you're speaking to a teenager about being a parent and they're not a parent, it's hard to take in this information. And
Right.
I think that we'll do that as we look at people's business. Like we haven't run that business, but yet we all have a comment or a suggestion on how it should be run, what's going wrong.
Hmm.
And I really try to seek the good out. So like
Hmm.
when I speak with people, I like to let them know, hey, I love your patience, or I love how you put the whole place together. Because if the place smells bad, we'll let you know. If we felt the service took too long, we'll let you know. But the
Yes.
service was on time. Why are we not letting you know? And so I'm like, we have to.
Mm,
What's common right now? Keep that same energy. Let's keep the same energy for the good.
right. I
You
like
know,
that.
let's bring that out. You know what? Hey, this tasted great. It came out quick and it was hot. I, I love it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's needed.
Right. I think that we just have to be careful what again, what we echo, what we tell others, because I'm a firm believer. If we put our mouths on someone else, as far as their business is concerned, as far as what decision they made, guess what? It will, I guarantee you, it will definitely come back on you, where you might be faced with the same decision. You might find yourself in the same shoes as that person that you decided to provide words that were not healthy to their situation. So if you're listening out there, to those who are listening, please watch your words, watch what you echo in these social media streets. And that is that. Any last thoughts on, or any more tips that you would like to leave for our Black men and Black boys as it relates to I am and speaking life to the self?
I'll say that along with speaking life, um, I think that I want us to really watch our actions. Like they say, when you're raising kids, you never know what the kids are going to see. But like the same thing applies in the community. And, we all have opinions when we see people messing up, or when we see somebody comment in a way we don't like. And then I don't think we acknowledge when we do the same. So I know, as far as a parent, I've always tried to raise my kids off of what I'm doing and not what I'm saying. I don't tell them don't do something and then you see daddy go do it. And it's like, well, I'm confused, dad. So I try to do that in my house and outside my house, because you never know who you could be setting up for success. And by you just living a selfish thought, you could be setting somebody up for failure and not even notice it. But you're just, oh, I'm just being me. Like, are you really though?
Right, right. So my last thought mirrors your last thought, is that although it is important to recite these affirmations, it's even more important to ground them with personal work. Because a person can talk for days. I am excellent. I am a king. I am whatever comes after that I am. But if there's no action behind it, your words, to me, are useless. So thank you so much. That is our time. But before we go, tell our listeners how they can connect with you.
So I am going to be I'm on Facebook. You can find me under Black Men Speak Life, and then also on Instagram at Black Men Speak Life. It's the same all the way across the board, and you could message me there, or you could just see one of the videos and see if it's something you're interested in. And if you reach out, I reach back.
Thank you again, Bradley, for being a part, showcasing your story, your work, for doing your part in changing the narrative, and lastly, for keeping your commitment by being a part of the show. That means a lot. If you've enjoyed the show, please let us know. We would love to shout you out and post your comments. If you or someone you know is changing the narrative, please contact us at iChangeTheNarrative@gmail.com. We would love to share your story. For I Change the Narrative merchandise, visit iChangeTheNarrative.org. Thank you to our sponsors, So Organic, So Suave. You can follow Sauce on Instagram. And for the latest in product news and updates, visit us at sossd.co. Meet us here next Saturday. It is the last show of the season at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll have more great show, more great conversation. Thank you all so much for listening. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok. We are now on TikTok at I Change the Narrative. Thanks so much for listening, guys.